Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Jennifer, and this is our podcast. My sister is a Karen.
And I'm Karen. And today we are going to talk about lashes. I cannot tell you how many times I have been shopping for mascara or doing my makeup, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I have to call my sister. She's the only one who understands. We used to have such beautiful lashes.
We really did, though, in all honesty, and obviously, we didn't appreciate them when we were younger because we didn't know that they weren't there for keeps.
No, I mean, I would hate to think of how many times one of us has called the other and said, oh my God, I found the most amazing mascara. And like either like sent it to you or been like, you need to get this Smashbox Too Faced Tarte, whatever it
Yes,
was.
yes.
And the truth is that whole time we just had really good lashes. I mean, those
Yeah,
mascaras are good.
they are good. Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely. And remember, there was a window of time where Lancome was ruling the eyelash world. Oh my God.
Yes.
And the mascara was like $23. And I was like mortified to spend 20 because I didn't, have money back then. I was mortified to spend
But
$23 on mascara. But literally my lashes would touch my eyebrows
yeah.
with this mascara. It could
Remember when mom had
curl.
that really fancy like Chanel one?
I don't even remember Chanel mascara. Mom had that?
Oh, she like
You used
would,
it.
she literally would watch you use it to make sure you would put it back.
Get out.
She, I'd be like, "Oh, can I use your mascara?" And she's like, "Mm-hmm," and then stares at you the whole time. I'm like, "I'm gonna put it back. I know. I'm just making sure." Okay.
I must not
She's,
have lived in town at that time because I do not remember a Chanel mascara that was up for bid.
um, maybe it was Lancome, not it was one that was like expensive, and because you were the one that told me, you were like, "Oh my God, you have to go try this mascara."
Oh, it was the Lancome. It was what was it called? They still make it. It's like when you go to the Lancome counter, it's like the OG mascara. And now, I mean, Lancome
Yes.
still, I'm wearing a Lancome mascara right now. Like they still do a phenomenal mascara, but this was like their OG mascara that was just like over the top. Now their mascaras are like 29 or $30, maybe even 35. But back then I remember it was like $23. And I mean, I'm talking like this was
I
probably
mean,
like,
and that's when you could get one for under 10 at the drugstore. Like CoverGirl was,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, this was probably more than 15 years ago. This was a really long time ago. But yeah, we just I mean, we had I'm really fair. Like this hair is not, this isn't the color it grows out of my head, but I lean toward a blonde fair. I had black eyelashes. They were long. They went all, if I put on good mascara and I curled my lashes, they touched my eyebrows, which was almost like problematic. Like I almost didn't even like that
I,
back then.
yeah. Now
Little did we know.
I know. Like I remember one time I and this was um after I'd had Michael, I was living with Grandma and Gramps, and Grandma was like, "Oh my God!" Like I put on fake eyelashes, and she's like, "They look so good." Da da da. And she was like, "Chuck, do you notice anything?" And I'm like, batting my lashes at Gramps, and he's like, "Is your eyeliner thicker? Is that what it is?" He couldn't even tell the difference between and then when
Yeah,
I was like, "No," Grandma's like, "She has on fake lashes," and he goes, "Well, her
yeah.
regular ones are just as long."
They were they were it, so again, I mean, I knew that I had long, nice lashes, but I didn't appreciate it in such a way. I just, but and our sister and our brother do too. We have long lashes, nice lashes in our family.
Our brother will say stuff like, I mean, it's really a hassle. Sometimes I have to trim them so they don't hit my glasses. Your life is so hard.
I know. I wonder
Yeah.
if he doesn't. I wonder if his lashes have shrunk. We need to ask him.
Because Megan's have not started shrinking. She's like, no, I have really great lashes.
Whatever, Megan. I did too. I
That's what I
also
said.
don't
I
know.
was like, well, your day's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I did abuse my lashes for a long time. Like,
For
eyelash
sure.
curler, primer, mascara. There was a window in my life where, first of all, I didn't even always remove my makeup when I was younger. But when I did, I would go in and like scrape at those. There would be lashes all over the cloth. Like not just mascara, but full on lashes. It was fine. I just like lashed up what was left the next day. It was all fine.
Oh, I can beat that. I used to just like, if I was too tired to, then I would just like rub all the
Yeah.
mascara out of my lashes onto
Yeah.
my fingers with, so like I would have clumps of mascara and lashes and just be like, okay, now I can lay down on my pillow.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. We were so abusive
now
to our faces and our skin and
I
our
know.
lashes. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. And my lashes are not as dark as yours. Like, I, when I did my, so we're also going to talk about the disasters that we've had.
Yeah.
Oh, so I did an at home, um, tint and lift.
Yes.
And I got a very, I'm not going to say the brand name because I
Yeah.
think it was um but it had good star reviews, whatever. It wasn't the most expensive, not the cheapest. This wasn't from Temu or something. I followed the directions to a T. The first 2 or 3 days I was like, oh my God, I love them. Now I did love one eye better than the other because one eye was like too curled, so it almost like curled back, but I was like, that's fine,
Yeah.
um, but I loved it for like 3, 4 days. And then I was like, oh, it's not that they're like curled so far back. It's that my lashes all broke off and are now like 2 millimeters long and
Oh
they just look like
no.
eyeliner. Like I had no lashes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would put on mascara and it was, I normally do like the little shimmy thing as I'm like going up. And it was like, yeah,
There wasn't
just
enough to
just
shimmy.
like dab it to the lash line where there used to be lashes.
Oh no.
So, and the same kit, because it had multiple things, I
Mhm.
did it. And then a friend of mine was just having a very chill, low key New Year's Eve. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bring my lash thing. So, I did his lashes. Okay. He also has like double lashes or whatever, like the most beautiful, and then gorgeous
Oh.
blue eyes. His lashes looked stunning. His boyfriend, we used the perm to laminate his eyebrows.
Uh-huh.
Fucking stunning. Beautiful. Another girl there, we did the lash lift and tint on her. Skylar had beautiful lashes. She was like, yeah, around like 2 months, I started noticing that maybe I need to like wear mascara again.
2 months?
2 months.
It lasted 2 months for her?
It
That's
lasted until those
remarkable.
lashes fell out and the new ones grew in, which for me, I was like,
I
yeah, I
feel like
bet
it
you're
took
starting
two
to,
years for my lashes to fall out and grow new ones.
um, I mean, I could see like, and then I had like this weird phase where I had like hardly any. They were all like nubby, but then I had like 2 or 3 long lashes, and I would like put so much mascara on those. I'm like, I got lashes again.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. Yeah,
So,
I did the same thing. So, like, it's been longer ago for me, probably like 6 or 7 years ago. I started feeling like the mascara formula I was using wasn't working well. Then I was like, maybe it's the primer, and so I switched primer. And I'd been using the same primer for a long time, but the mascara I would like change formulas. Just
sure.
yeah, just like depending on whatever caught my eye in the
Literally sometimes would be like, I can't tell if one of these mascaras is better. So I would go to work with like Too
one
Faced on the
one.
left eye
Yep.
and Tarte on the right eye or
Or
whatever it was. Yeah.
I would only put primer on one eye and then use the same mascara, but like, is the primer doing anything? So only put
Yes.
primer on one eye or only curl one eye. I used to do a lot of that. And it would just be like,
Yes.
I would just buy whatever mascara like looked appealing in the moment. But I started noticing probably like 6 or 7 years ago, I was like, man, like my lashes, like something's not working anymore. And it took me a while to realize like my lashes are just not as full and as long as they used to be. So I started wearing like fake lashes. I had a friend that I worked with, Rochelle, who was like, "Oh, I use these fake lashes. It's like a subscription, and they send them to you every month, and it's like small sections of extensions, and so you would
Yeah.
adhere each section. And I think it was like 6 sections on an eye, give or take, And I did those for a while. I never was
But
as good
those
at
weren't
it.
the were those the daily lash one? Those were ones that
No,
lasted like
those
a
stayed
few
on.
days.
No, those stayed on for like, if you did them well, they stayed on for like a week, week and a half. Rochelle used to
Yeah.
wear them for like 2 weeks. She'd be like out like on the boat with like wind blasting in her face, and her lashes would stay on. I would like blink rapidly at work and a chunk of lashes would fall off. Like I never was as good at it as Rochelle was. I just never was. But I wore those for like 2 or 3 years, and it saved me a ton of money in like professional lash extensions.
Yeah. I
It was,
remember when you were doing that.
yeah, it was way cheaper. It was a really good deal. And they looked fine. Like I just never got as good at it. And eventually I was just like, I'm just going to spend the money and get lash extensions. So I was like going to, like a chain and getting lash extensions. And again, it's like a subscription. You go in every 2 weeks. They take money out of your account every month. If you go in more than twice, then, you pay extra, whatever. And it was fine. And I was doing like, they called it classic lashes. So it was just one strand, not like multiple strands. And it mirrored what I remember my lashes looking like in my 20s. I loved it. It was a little inconvenient because you got to lay there for like 45 minutes every time. So that's,
No, but they did look
yeah,
like they didn't look like you had fake lashes. They did look
no. Often
like
I thought,
oh, your lashes look great. Like oh,
yes,
what kind of mascara are you using or
yes. I often
Yes.
got feedback that it looked like I just had really nice lashes with mascara on. And that's how I wanted it. Well, eventually, like I started struggling. Like I would get my eyelid would be swollen for a couple of days after I went in. And the first time it happened, I was like, oh, she didn't wash her hands well or something. Like there was something like dirty.
Yeah.
And so it just like it kept happening. Then it was like my eyes, like the lower, and I didn't ever do anything to the lower lashes, but the lower eye would be swollen, plus obviously like the eyelid. There was never anything that was done to the lower lid. And then it just like it got worse and worse and worse until eventually I had like a buildup. It looked like eczema under one of my eyes. It was so bad. I saw like a million different, I saw allergist, dermatologist, primary care physician, and an ophthalmologist. At one point, the ophthalmologist was like, well, it looks a little like herpes. I was like,
I do remember that.
no.
Like what strippers have you had near your eyeballs?
It's like, I remember I called you and I was like, so I don't really know like what you do to get herpes in your eye, but I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I swear. And then it was not herpes, everybody. It was not
It
herpes.
was not. Yeah.
Because then a few days later, it flared up again, and I put bacitracin. And I mean, I like layered the bacitracin on there. And the next day, I woke up and it was on fire again. So I think I reacted to the bacitracin, which apparently is actually more common than you realize. So it was not herpes. It was like a thickening of the skin. The dermatologist took one look at me and she was like, yeah, that's what this is. Blah, blah, blah. Use this ointment for 2 weeks and then use this other one for like another 2 weeks after that. And it's gone. But I will admit, like occasionally it flares back up again. So now I'm back on regular mascara, not in love with it. My lashes are light brown now. Like they're not dark, they're light
I
brown.
like that was one of the things is um my lashes do not hold the curl, which that doesn't surprise me. None of my hair
None of
holds
our,
a curl.
right, neither of us. Our hair doesn't hold
Um
curl. We have very fine hair. It's hard
yes.
to manage.
But I did used to like my lashes used to be dark. So that makes such a huge difference. Now they're not, because now I'm
I
like, I
know.
don't know, maybe I'm just gonna dye the ends of them.
I know.
Um,
I don't
I
think you
guess
can go
I'll.
back to the dye. I think you've already
I don't think I
solidified.
can.
No.
No.
Funny though, because the first time that I started noticing that my lashes were just like kind of garbage. I remember I have this really good friend, Brenda, and she's about 10 years older than me. And I was talking to Brenda one day and I was like, I don't know. It's just like my eyelashes just like suck now. Like, I don't know what the deal is. And I was like, is that like something that happened? And Brenda was like, oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, I have the same thing. And I'm like, You didn't tell me. Like you, she's like, well, I didn't know. And she again, like she doesn't have like a ton of sisters, and again, like she's a little bit older than us. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if she was comfortable with the whole like aging menopause conversation. And so she was like, I don't know that I really knew it, but she's like, yeah, you're. I'm like, people should tell you, like they should tell you.
Because you and I spent 2 years telling each other about like
Yeah,
we would both get a new mascara and I'd be like, "Oh my God, Jen, I found it.
yep,
It's like,"
yeah.
and then I'd be like, "No, it doesn't like it's not as great as it was
It's
two
like
weeks
they're
ago."
great for the first couple days, but it's just like I don't know. Like I don't have a lot of lashes. When they fall out, they're very thin and fine. They were not like that. When I was younger and an eyelash fell out, it was like an eyebrow hair. Like it was a robust
Yes,
hair. It had substance to it. I could touch the end of it and feel it poke me. Now they're like fine little like
they are.
arm
They're
hairs.
pathetic now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea that that was a part of. I don't know if that's an aging journey or if that's a menopausal journey. Like I don't know, but I am not a fan, and
No,
I'm just like not taking it lying down. And I'll just say right now, it's very likely that at some point I dip my toe back into the water of professional lash extensions. And when they all fall out, and my upper lid lashes were smaller than my lower lid lashes,
that's where
like
I was when I was in Boston. That's
it's
what was
really
going on.
bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad. But
Imagine my embarrassment when like I was telling one of the people at work and I was like, "Yeah, I did this." And I was like, "Yeah, they look like," that's when I noticed that and I was like, "Oh, wait, no, I don't recommend this." Like I was literally bragging and I was like, "No, it was so easy, Emily. Like you totally could do it yourself." I was like, "It didn't take time." I'm
oh
like,
my God.
and then I was like, "Oh, wait, there used to be like another 75% of lash."
I went with mom like a year ago when I first started having trouble with the lash thing. I went with mom to like the makeup counter at Nordstrom's. She was like,
Mhm.
I need a 5 minute face. And she like does makeup stuff with me. So she's like, I need a 5 minute face. So we go to the Nordstrom counter and I don't even remember which counter I was at, but the guy was like super chill. And he was like, do you need a 5 minute face also? I was like, oh no. Like five
We
that's
don't
not
do
even
that
my
here.
skincare takes longer than 5 minutes. Like, what are you talking about? So I was like, no, I don't need a 5 minute face. But I told him, I go, my lashes, like they've all fallen out. I was getting fake lashes for like 3 years. I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. And he was so sweet. And he was like, it happens. He was like, I actually went through the same thing a few years ago. Like, you just got to wait for them to grow back. And he was like, honestly, do not buy mascara here. He was like, you don't have enough lashes to make it worth putting. He was literally like, go to the drugstore, buy Milani has a tubing mascara. So I don't know if you've ever used tubing mascaras, but it like like it almost like wraps a thing around your lash. And when you go to wipe it off, it almost comes off your lash like a tube. So it's really like gentle on your lashes. You don't have to scrub to get the mascara off. I
What's
liked
the
it.
other kind of mascara? I mean, I've heard people say tubing mascaras.
Well, the other kind of mascara, so it coats your lashes, but you have to like scrub at the lashes to get it off. The tubing
Okay, I see what you're saying.
mascara, like you put warm water and a little bit of soap, and it literally like comes off the way that a sock comes off your feet. Yeah, so it's like safer for your lashes,
Yeah.
especially people like us with these really fragile, pathetic arm hair styles.
Yes.
So he was like, "Go, you need a tubing mascara," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And maybe we were at like the Giorgio Armani counter or some like bullshit
Yeah.
like. And he's like, "It's like $75 here, but Milani makes a really good one for like 12.90." He was like, "When your lashes grow back, you can come back and try the Giorgio Armani one."
Yeah.
I was like, "Touche, good man."
Yeah.
So I used that tubing mascara. The other nice thing about the tubing mascara is I've only used that one brand. I've never used it in another brand. So maybe it's unique to that like Milani formula,
Hmm.
but the brush does not have like hairy bristles. It's like a silicone, like it's a one piece silicone tip that does have some little bristles coming off of it, but they're very short. So that helps if you have short lashes. And they didn't like move about a lot. So I was able to like coat each lash really nicely because the applicator was really,
Yes.
I mean, it was just well designed for like really short, tiny lashes. I'm actually thinking about going back to a tubing mascara again. I'll probably go back to that Milani one because I just had such great luck with it and it was inexpensive. But I don't know, like I don't know if it's always a silicone applicator or if they ever have like those hairy, bristles that are almost like tied together.
Yeah. Um, I I Benefit has a mascara that has the applicator like that I really like. I wonder if it's a tubing
Yeah.
mascara.
The other problem that I had when I had like when my eye was it was mostly on the left eye, but originally both eyes were inflamed. It stayed really long on the left eye, and that was the one that looked like herpes to the ophthalmologist
Yeah.
at the time. But that eye, like even now, if I have to scrub very hard to get my mascara off under like that sensitive skin under my eye will get like irritated. And as a matter of fact, like right now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but right now there's a little, you can't see it, but there's a
No.
little spot where I irritated it like 2 days ago. And it's just been kind of pink under there. And I can feel it like when I wipe with a washcloth or something, I can feel it. So I do like the tubing mascara because I don't have to scrub to get it off. Like regular mascara is not so easy to get off.
No, I mean I've been doing I just do little bit of coconut oil on my finger and that's how I take my stuff off.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
that's not
the
true.
same way.
Sometimes I do micellar water on a pad.
I don't like
Um,
my water, but I use like a cleansing balm, which is probably working the same as your coconut oil.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing though that I have noticed is I used to sometimes wear fake lashes. Now and then I was loved the magnetic fake lashes because they were so
Yes, you
much
did.
I did. The liner though, that's the magnet, if it like comes within a certain range of my eyeball, my eyes will get so irritated and start watering. And then, like, I'm trying to like salvage my drag queen makeup and the mascara and what. So I feel like I don't even, and I never really was great at the glue lashes. Like, they just
Yeah.
didn't stay on as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm kind of stuck because also I'm like, well, if the magnetic liner irritates my lashes and
Yeah.
my eyes, of course the glue is going to as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just stuck with snubs for lashes.
Well, I mean, they can grow back a little bit. Mine did grow
Yeah.
back in pretty nicely. They never grew back to what I had in my 20s and 30s, but I would say like now I think my lashes are pretty decent, right? Like I have a little bit of mascara on.
Yeah.
So I think
Mine
they're
are
okay.
decent now. They've basically recovered from
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, they look good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not terrible. They're just not what they used to be. And I swear,
No, and
I really feel like there was like a 2 year period where you and I, like, we talked so much about
I know.
mascara
I know.
because we had no idea and we
We
totally
had
thought
no idea. And it was just like this constant like battle. Like I was like, maybe this will work. And like the reason that the lash extension, I mean, they worked for a long time for me. They worked for like 3 years, which is a
yeah,
pretty long time to wear lash extensions consistently. But the reason that I would be afraid to go back now is my lashes are not strong. And you're adhering an entire heavy eyelash to your little baby eyelash. So I just like I wasn't prepared for like I was prepared to like gain wrinkles. I've been getting Botox for a lot of years. Like I was prepared for the things that Botox. I was prepared to like
right.
get hair and have to bleach my like there were a lot of things I was prepared for my boobs to sag. There were a lot of things that I was like maybe not prepared for because I don't know that you can really be prepared, but there were a lot of things that I knew would happen and the lashes, I had no idea. Like, I just had
Right.
no idea. And
And I don't know if I really would have taken better care of my lashes if I,
that it would have made a difference.
yeah, that too. Um,
I mean, like skincare, like, I don't think I have a ton of wrinkles. I was fortunate. Our mom was good at telling us to use skincare when we were young. So like, but I don't think there was much we could have done for the lashes. I'd have still worn mascara every day. It makes a huge
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
It makes a huge difference. That's why I hate these nub lashes.
I know. I feel like even like my eyes, my eyebrows, my eyeshadow, like all of it, I feel like it's greatly altered. And there's a lot of things about my face that are altered. But I feel like the lashes might have them that might be more impactful than like the crow's feet or like the little sagginess that's happening here. I think the lashes might be the most like at first glance,
I think so.
yeah,
If I can do a full face of makeup, but it doesn't look put together until I have mascara or
I agree.
lashes. But like, I mean, yeah.
I agree. Even my no makeup wears
Yeah.
mascara.
I mean, I
Like
don't have that,
you don't
but
even have that. Just don't
yeah.
even don't say yeah, like you know what I'm
I
talking
know. I was like,
about.
yeah, I mean, I don't do that.
No, no. But for me, I do a no makeup look a lot, and I always have mascara on. But
Yeah.
it just doesn't have the impact that it once did. I feel like my eyes. I mean, I'm sure my eyes are smaller anyway because again, like aging. But I think the fact that my eyelashes don't pull up the way they used to, it makes my eyes look even smaller.
Like, we had such good lashes. Do you remember when we were like teenagers, there was like clear mascara that was
Yes,
the thing.
we wore clear
Okay.
mascara.
Yeah. Like you
Yeah,
have to have really good lashes to wear
yeah.
clear mascara
I
because
didn't even use a lash curler for years. The only reason I started using a lash curler was because, to like just like our brother, if I put on really good mascara and I did wear, I most of the time I wear contacts, but if I did wear my glasses, sometimes the lashes would brush my glasses. Like if I had my glasses on well,
yeah.
the lashes would brush there. So I curled my lashes so that they were curled upward and didn't. I know. I know.
Oh, yeah.
If I could have half of that back.
Right?
I had
Yeah.
no idea. No idea at all. These are the things that like people should tell you about. Like people, like women who are older, like I tell every woman I know in their 20s and 30s, I tell them, I lecture them
I
about their eyelash situation.
I do too. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is my soapbox. You are
Yeah.
going to hear it.
If your
Yeah,
mom
like
didn't tell you, I will.
yes, because I especially like as a nurse, I work with tons of women of all
Yeah.
ages. So a lot of the younger women, especially when I'm like, oh my gosh, you have beautiful eyelashes. Girl, hold on to them. Like
Be
you have another
gentle.
decade. I
I guess I need to look and find out if like that tubing mascara is actually like safer for your lashes. I don't know, but maybe we need to look into
if
that.
someone who if someone could let us know so we don't have to
We would
Google
love
that.
that. We would love
Yes.
that.
That would
Google.
be great. Um
Okay, so on that note, I think we should probably get going. My phone is gonna die.
yes. My son is asking for the computer that
Oh,
I'm
of course.
using. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Um
So tune in again. We're gonna drop a couple more episodes in the next couple of days. So make sure to tune in again. Give us some feedback. Drop us a note on our email. My sister is a Karen at gmail.com. We are My Sister is a Karen on all the social media except for X.
which is
And
just my
that
sister's a Karen. It was just
right.
one letter too long.
Skip the I.
Yep. Um, so check us out, like, comment, subscribe, and tell us all your wonderful and terrible lash stories. We are dying to hear them. All right, Jen, I'll talk to you later. Love
Okay.
you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.